This is Co-op Chronicles, episode 21. Welcome back. This is Co-op Chronicles. Co-op Chronicles. I'm Pint Size Geisha, and I have Black Label.
Hello.
And Azalee.
Hello.
And today is episode 21, which is...
We're going to talk about indie games and why they're up and coming. They have been, but we're just going to talk about indie games.
Indie game.
What's so interesting about them?
What's so great?
Our podcast can drink now.
What do you mean?
It's 21.
Oh, my God. Oh, yeah.
I guess that's true.
Yeah.
Cheers.
Cheers. Well, I'm drinking.
Cheers.
I have
Cheers to the big 2-1.
tequila and raspberry lemonade. Yeah.
Do you really?
I do.
That's a big container.
It's full of tequila and raspberry lemonade.
Okay.
Okay. Let's get going.
Mm-hmm.
Number 1. So, why do you think video or indie games have become so popular in recent years? And we'll have Azalee start first.
Mm-hmm.
I think they've become extremely popular the past couple years because they're short and sweet. I think they have like a really simple plot that kind of like makes you interested in it. And also because it's like much more readily available than like big name games. So like...
And they're not so crazy expensive.
Yeah,
Like-
they're like very affordable. They're like $10 maybe.
Yeah.
So they're like super affordable.
Yeah. What about you, baby? Or you want me to go?
I just think what Azalee said is great. This is going to be a topic where I'm not too versed in. I really don't play a lot of
you play
indie games.
some though. You play some.
I played 3.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's
so I'm
3
not...
enough.
That's a good amount.
Mhm.
That's 3 more than most people.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I like them because they're pretty unique. Like their stories are usually like, I don't know, more creative than
Yeah.
AAA games.
They also go like balls to the wall creative.
Yeah, and like 616 games. You mentioned Fears of Fathom. I actually have watched some of those. I just didn't know that's what Fears of Fathom was. But
he came out with his last episode recently.
Yeah. Oh, it was his last one?
Yeah, for that project.
Yeah. I watched Jackie Boy play.
Jackie Boy. I watch a lot of YouTubers play indie games.
Yeah, that's good enough.
I just don't play them. I'm a what did we...
We just watch games.
No, I'm a label whore. I like the PlayStation 5 big games and
Yeah,
the big
God of War.
Yeah.
Elden Ring.
They're
Bloodborne.
they're longer than indie games.
Yeah.
So
No.
it probably keeps your attention longer.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. What makes an indie game in your opinion? Is it just about a budget, or is there something more about them that makes it an indie game?
I think the look of it makes it indie, to me at least, because it's just like... First of all, it's done by a very small studio, if not one person. And also just the look of it is very like retro.
Yeah, it's unconventional.
Yeah, it's not like clean lines. It's not super animated. It's very basic. And I think that's kind of like what draws me into it. Because I'm just like, I'm watching this just for the pure enjoyment of it.
Yeah,
There's
and
nothing like guiding me to do this.
And I think most of the time, I like them because I don't play scary games, but most of the YouTubers play horrific like indie games, and I enjoy watching them. So I mean, that's good. Is that one of the cats playing with the ball?
That's
I hear it.
Mochi playing with the little thingy mabobby.
What about you?
I kind of agree with what both you guys say. The look of it and the feel of it is different than the mainstream. All mainstream video games kind of have the same look and the same feel, right? The same kind of what's the latest graphics we can put in on this. What was that one a couple years ago where it was like the reflection in like the mirrors and the glasses and
Like Cyberpunk? Yeah, they had like the...
And Spider-Man was really big in it too. Like when you would swing, you could see his reflection.
I forgot
like,
what it's called.
Yeah, that's what I'm trying to I forget what it's called too, but yeah. So the look of it is really different, and the feel of it is different, but it still looks really good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. How do indie games differ from triple A's in terms of development, creativity, and gameplay experience?
Would you like to go first?
You can compare it to like one of your games that you enjoy.
Yeah. The only thing that first came to mind for me was that, like, okay, so a bigger game like Elden Ring has a massive team, right? Like team members, maybe like 100 staff, and kind of like what Az was saying earlier is that this indie game could be 5 people just working on it, right? Making their idea come to life instead of like hundreds of people. Just one person I have this idea for Elden Ring, and I need all of you guys to work and do it how I want it. And I feel like an indie game is all 5 of us or all 3 of us have cohesively an idea, and we're trying to bring it to life. Does that make sense?
Yes.
It does.
Yeah.
What about you?
I think... Can you rephrase the question?
How do indie games differ from AAA games in terms of development, creativity, and gameplay experience?
That's what it was. Creativity. I think their creativity is not as focused as AAA games. Like, their creativity... Like, I've watched an indie game where it was, like, a killer with, like, a pair of scissors or something. It was weird. And it was just, like, so basic, but, like, creepy, very horrific.
Yeah.
Or that... I just watched this one because I don't want to play it. It looks disgusting, but it was like mouthwash. It was about mouthwash, and like they have to survive on mouthwash, and it literally is like the grossest looking game, but it's hilarious.
Yeah. I think like you guys both mentioned, their teams aren't bound by like large numbers, so their creativity is a little bit more. They have to. There's no boundaries they can't push because it's just like a few people and they're like, okay, let's just do this, And usually when you look at AAA games, like Geisha said, they're really big focused on the story and plot, and then like indie games are very, I don't know, they're very immersive too. They have like cheap scare tactics that try to get you involved in it to scare players and make you feel more like intimate about it. I don't know.
I think indie games have a smaller budget, obviously, so their story has to evolve like in like one area. So they have to make this one area like great. Like, and they have to make their story
It's so
great.
short too.
Yeah. But like AAA games, like they can make massive worlds.
Yeah.
So it's
multiple
like,
characters.
Yeah. So you have like so much with this AAA game, but like with a indie game, it's very like you're invested in the gameplay because it's just like that's all you get.
Yeah. What indie game do you think has been the most innovative or groundbreaking in the past few years, and why? Groundbreaking in the past few years.
You could put potatoes and ground bake them.
You could, and you can ground bake beef.
Oh, pigs too.
Yeah.
Sorry though, groundbreaking. I think. I think Hades, in my opinion, because it was like crazy. The mechanics, the way you. I mean, it's like a roguelike game. There's like multiple stories on the stories every time you complete it. I don't know if that makes sense.
Yeah.
Like
every run is a different story or a completion of another story.
I mean, Fears of Fathom was pretty cool too. Like compared to like Chilla's Arts and stuff like that. It's very. I don't know how to explain it. They create like situations. Was it Fears of Fathom where like he had him house sit?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. So like that could actually probably fucking happen. Like a girl
it's based off a true story.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, I didn't know that.
All of the stories are based off of submissions that were given to him.
Oh yeah. Okay. So yeah, that's like just real shit. Yeah. I was like, yeah, there's a lot of stuff that can happen. Like where the girl was just obsessed with him and she like broke in, and the beginning of that game tripped me out because he was in a laundromat. I still don't understand that, but yeah. I mean, yeah.
What about you, Geisha?
The one indie game that I played that I really like, I didn't finish it though. I kind of have like a love-hate relationship with it right now. Sea of Stars. Really cute, great concept. I love the story, but man, there was just so much reading involved.
Yeah.
And I remember falling asleep when I was playing it. And I'm just like, I just want to kind of get to it, you know? And maybe, I don't know, maybe that's why I like the bigger games more because they're like so like, let's go. And an indie game,
And they
you kind of
talk.
like
And they talk. It has
take your
audio.
time. Yeah, and it has audio. Like if it was said to me, I'd be like, okay, we're fine. But if I have to read it, I'm just like, But Sea of Stars, I'm gonna play it again because you know what, I forgot about it until now, so I'm gonna play it again. But was that little girl Miss Misery? What was her name?
That was an indie game.
That was an indie game. That was cute.
What was it called? What was her name?
Little Misfortune.
Yeah,
Little Misfortune. I just remember her little toots.
Yeah,
Yeah.
we talked about how sad it was.
Her
last
little
episode.
toots. And then we watched one that kind of reminds me of Little Misfortune. I'm glad you're here, or thank goodness you're here.
Oh yeah,
The
I
one
love
about
that game.
the smacking.
Yeah, the smack of the booty.
Yeah.
I love that game.
so
It's
funny.
so funny. I love the.
Is that weird one where you're like a little midget?
You're like a
It's like
British.
smacking.
It's like
yeah,
British.
like
Yeah.
British people.
Yeah.
It's like smacking everything.
I like it because it's like the forced perspective is very like you're outside of a cooler and then you go inside and you're on top of the guy.
And
It's
you're
just
inside of
crazy.
the meat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So weird.
Or like the beer.
Weird. Yeah.
Oh my god, it's weird.
It was the weirdest game I ever watched, but it was.
But
so
it was
funny.
so funny.
Yeah, yeah.
I loved their accents.
Oh my
Yeah.
god, they had to be real.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Yeah.
I think I've never played this game, but I know it was really big and continues to be really big in the industry. But Undertale, that's
Oh, yeah.
that's like
Yeah.
the big like
That's
I know
huge.
kids
That is a big one.
everywhere were playing it at one point. Like
Yeah.
it has so it's apparently it's very there's a lot of lore to it. Apparently,
Yeah,
it's
apparently,
very
yeah.
in depth.
Yeah.
But I think it was great because of like the style that it's in is amazing. Because it's not amazing, which makes it amazing.
Yeah.
It's like very 8-bit.
I always get Undertale and Paper Please mixed up.
Oh, Paper Please is so good.
Yeah, Paper Please is
Papers,
also really good
Please.
too. Oh, what about Happy Wheels? Remember Jackie Boy would play Happy Wheels?
I don't know. I guess
Is that
it is
indie?
indie. I would say it's indie, but it's also like
Other
people made their own levels. Have
Yeah.
you ever seen that? You got to watch Jack. He has like
hundreds.
200 episodes.
Yeah.
It was like before he was like super big. I think that's what got him really
What
big.
is
Is the
it
Happy
about?
Wheels. So it's just like other players make an obstacle course
You should
and he
show
has
her.
to try to get through it.
Oh.
And this is like Label had said when Jackie Boy wasn't big yet, and he is over the top and loud and crazy.
When he used to
and
be
it's-
really-
yeah.
Yeah, that's
That's how it is. But it's really fun to watch. I think like Happy Wheels is one of his best series. But then later on, like once you hit like the hundreds or so episodes, he kind of like is not so,
He's chiller.
yeah, he's
like-
not so big anymore.
Here you
Like,
I think his age really
yeah.
is like calming him down.
it's like this. I think this is like the first episode. Yeah, this is like his very first episode. But
He looks so like a babe. Oh yeah. Okay, I know what you're talking
yeah,
about.
Yeah, and you
used
have to like go through it.
yeah, yeah.
Can you do me a favor and pass me the thing behind your computer?
This thing.
Yes, please.
Okay, here you go. Okay. How has the rise of accessible game development tools like Unity or Unreal Engine impacted the indie scene?
I'm sorry, repeat the question.
How has the rise of accessible game development tools such as Unity and Unreal Engine impacted the indie game scene? Would you like me to go first so you can kind of get a...
I
You would like that?
I just don't know the answer to this question. I don't know what those are.
So, like,
Go ahead.
They're like programs.
they have programs that help you develop it. So, like,
I don't know.
I think Unity helped with 616 games, and it helped create, those unique styles. Obviously, I'm sure they use a lot of free, I don't know how to say it, like, the,
I like to consider them as skins.
yeah, like something like that. They use free ones, but without those tools, the indie games probably wouldn't be where they were or are.
I think indie games use those to their advantage nowadays. Like a lot of hog games, like hidden object games, use Unity.
Mm-hmm.
Like it opens up so much for them to like build their world.
What was
with.
that one game where they kept going in circles of the building and it would change and it was horror? It was
PT?
PT. Didn't they
Yeah.
use like Unreal Engine
I
or
think it was
Unity
Unreal.
or
I
Unity?
think
It was one of those.
Yeah, I think yeah.
It was like is that an indie game?
I don't think maybe.
I don't know.
I thought it was just one guy who made it.
We should define what an indie game is compared to, like, for me, a definition of an indie game is a smaller developer.
Yeah, I think it's
Yeah.
just like a small little
A smaller
1 to 3, 4-man group. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I would say not just like 3 to 4. Sometimes they can
It could be like
bigger.
20.
Yeah,
Uh-huh.
but they're not like massive.
It's not like a
there's-
triple
So like
A.
indie games don't have the budget of AAA
Yeah,
games.
yeah.
They don't
Mhm.
have the manpower of AAA games. They're like
Little
literally
pe-
making it
they're
in
little
their
people.
in their basement or in their garage.
Yeah, they're just little guys trying to make it in this world.
Yeah.
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 Okay.
Look
well,
at Stardew Valley, my favorite game, created by one man. Now
Is
he
it
has
by one guy?
Now he has a team of like.
Was it just
8.
one person?
Yeah,
Amazing.
That's pretty
just
cool.
one guy, and
All
now
right.
he has like a small team.
Okay, I'll just skip this geisha for you. Okay.
Yeah, because I don't know.
What's your favorite indie game of all time, and what made it stand out for you?
Oh, say it with me. Stardew Valley.
Hades. Hades, the mix of a roguelike, story evolved, polished, beautiful graphics. You know, it made me feel part of the story when I died and had to do it all over again until I got the right setup. Yeah.
Farming.
Farming.
Hello?
Yeah.
Farming.
A grandpa or whatever you guys said.
Yeah,
or
I gotta make Grandpa happy. Gotta make him proud of me.
underwear. You found underwear in that lady's
Oh, yeah.
place.
Yeah.
or whatever?
Mayor
Found that.
Lewis's drawers.
Yeah, it's purple drawers.
Yeah, you know why they're there.
Yeah.
Oh, I left them there. Why? Why did you leave underwear there?
Yeah.
What about you?
Yeah, one.
Graveyard Keeper.
Hmm.
Because I can toss bodies in the river.
Graveyard Keeper's a good one.
Yeah.
I like watching gameplays of Graveyard Keeper.
Yeah.
That one game's pretty cool too, but I always die even though I try to play with you, babe. Don't Starve Together. Is that an
That's a
indie
good
game?
I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, that game was fun, but it's hard. Okay, which indie game do you think was the most surprising success story, and why do you think it resonated with so many people? I have my answer already.
I haven't played it, but I think Undertale's. Because it's so big. I don't know why it I don't know why a lot of people liked it.
Yeah,
And
I
their
don't know.
connection to it. I never even watched anybody play Undertales.
I watched Jack and Markiplier play them.
I haven't even watched Jackie Boy played Undertales. I know what Undertales is,
It's pretty crazy,
but
actually.
I've never seen the gameplay of it, and I've never played it myself.
Yeah, it's huge.
But I feel like that's one of the biggest indie games. That and Stardew Valley.
What do you think?
I think what really surprises me is Terraria. I know
Oh,
that's
yeah.
Oh, yeah,
too.
that's huge,
That's a
too.
huge one too.
Is RuneScape an indie game? It's not, right? Because
I don't think
that's been
so.
out for many, many, many millennia.
I don't know. Maybe I don't think so.
Okay.
I don't know. But yeah, that's my answer. Terraria.
I think the biggest surprise of an indie game was Among Us. During COVID,
During
during COVID, all the YouTubers got together and
Yeah.
Yeah,
collabed.
that-
so many people.
that was a good one.
I think Among Us was actually probably one of the best indie games to come out, especially during the pandemic, because
It brought people together too.
Not only did it bring people together, but it also opened up people to other streamers. I think it was
Yeah.
like really big for streamers at the time.
Yeah, it was. Because there's a lot of people that collabed that I'd never even like. Like
Yeah.
I watch Anthony Kong fan, babe.
Yeah,
And
I've
he was
never-
playing with like
I
other
know.
big people, like,
I like-
Delirious. He
yeah,
was playing
cartoons.
with cartoons.
Squirrel,
Yep.
Kyle. Like
Yeah.
there's like all these like streamers I've never watched, and I started watching
What's
them
that one
because
guy's
they
name?
were on.
You know, Cub Scouts played Among
Kenshin?
Us with Jackie Boy.
Did he?
Yeah.
No, yeah, he did.
Yeah, he did.
Yeah, that's crazy too.
Yeah.
And I love Cub Scout. He be cussing a lot. He's
Among
funny.
Us was probably the best indie game to come out.
Yeah.
And he's wearing dark sports now. All of a sudden, yeah, he's just like
He's
me
like
now.
your mini twin.
Yeah.
Shout out to Cub Scouts.
Yeah, Cub
Yo.
Scouts. And, you know, if
come
you ever would
listen
love,
to our
if you would ever
podcast.
want to be on our podcast,
Yeah.
you know, I'm gonna
You're
push this
welcome.
to you. You know,
Yeah.
You-
Be like, hey, we talked about you on your.
I
on
don't
the
have the
podcast.
money to bring you, but it'll
You
take like
can-
an hour of your time, man.
Yeah. Well,
Just out of
he'd
the
have to-
generosity of your
Where
pure
is
soul.
he based? I don't even know
I
where
think
he's
he's in
based out of.
California.
Oh, California.
Yeah.
That's not so far.
That's where like everybody that
Yeah.
does YouTube
That's
stuff is
not so
pretty-
far.
Yeah, I mean he could do it online.
Oh yeah, that's true.
Yeah,
huh?
we could just Discord.
Discord us.
Okay, are there any indie games you think you think have had a major impact on the gaming industry as a whole?
I don't know.
Have you ever heard of I don't know if I'm pronouncing it right. Celesta?
Oh, when you said Celeste, it sounded familiar. But
It's like a kind of like a platform game. It was really big. It helped a lot of people with like mental health stuff. But I mean, it was really impactful. I thought that was like a really cool indie game. 616. I love 616 games because it brings back like the Resident Evil, like kind of like the old PS1 with the lines and shit. Like, yeah, those
The
are mine.
lines.
Yeah, you know how it's like an old recorder type, like a VHS.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh, like the screen.
Yes. Yeah.
Oh, gotcha.
It's like a retro.
I
Yeah.
love all of the new. This is not pertaining to the question, but I love all the new Backrooms games because they're like you're recording it, so it kind of has
Oh,
that
that's
feel.
terrifying.
It's so cool. I like that.
I get scared when I watch those because I know things are gonna happen, but I don't know what's gonna happen.
You get scared
Yeah.
watching anything
It's
scary.
like yeah, like those one
He's a scaredy kid.
what are they called? They're like horror things, and they each have their own story behind each type of like
SCP?
SCP stuff. Yeah, that stuff's. I like watching that stuff. That stuff's crazy. I watch like their short film movies.
Oh, they're terrifying.
Yeah, they're actually really good put together films too.
They're very good.
Yeah,
People are amazing.
yeah, they are.
Yeah, people are super creative. Look, I found my duck.
I know. I seen that on
Where
your
was
screen.
it?
No, well, I had it here, but I meant like I found a purpose for my duck.
Oh,
When I bought it, he's like, "Why do you need that?" Like,
now you know.
because I want
It's
one.
looking at the camera.
Yeah,
It is. Yeah.
just saying, like I found a purpose for it.
Okay. I know you're not gonna probably answer that. Are you? No.
Me? What was the question?
Are there any indie games you think have had a major impact on the gaming industry as a whole?
I don't know if this is factual or not, but from my perspective of not knowing anything about indie games, I feel like Stardew Valley was the first like farming type of game like that, and I see a lot more coming out. from
Farmville,
it.
Facebook.
Yeah, sorry. Farmville walked so Stardew Valley could run.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like I feel like Stardew Valley came out, but then now I'm seeing like a lot of copycats of Stardew
Yeah.
Valley.
Hey, did you know Tales from the Shire is coming out in March next year?
Oh, nice. Is that the little Hobbit game you sent me?
Yeah.
Nice.
I've been watching a couple of streamers play it
This
because they
is
got early access.
Celeste. It's like one of those games.
Oh.
Kind of like Meatwad.
I like
It
those
looks like
games.
Mega Man.
Yeah,
Yeah,
it definitely does.
yeah.
Yeah, like
Kind
the
of.
old
It looks
school.
like a Hollow Knight kind of the way it's playing.
Yeah, I mean, Hollow Knight probably got inspiration from other
yeah,
games.
because this
Yeah.
game was like older.
Yeah.
I
Okay.
have to burp.
What's
Just turn away.
what's an underrated indie game that more people need to know about?
Graveyard Keeper.
Oh, I think Killer Frequency is a indie game, but I recently, like, I think it came out
Is
a
that
year
the one
ago.
where they
but I
answer
love
the
it.
calls and they're trying to save
Yes!
people?
Yes,
Yeah, that one's
I
fun.
love that game.
The one like
Cub Scouts played
Yeah,
and Jack's.
it's
yeah,
so
played
you're like
it.
at a
good.
call center and you have
You're
to
a
figure
radio
out a
host.
monster.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no, you're a radio host.
Oh, I don't
Yeah.
know what it was.
No, but
I
it's
didn't pay that much
amazing. I
attention.
Yeah.
love that game.
Yeah,
I
Cub
think
Scouts
more
just plays
people
it.
should play
Yeah.
it.
They just did like a new or maybe I don't know how old the video was, but when Cub Scouts was playing it in his video, it was new for like the holiday season, and they had like the
Yeah.
red reindeer nose
Yeah, it's
and
good.
stuff like that.
That's
And the-
Yeah.
hilarious.
I also like the Watchtower ones when they're in like the trooper towers.
Oh,
Or
like the forest ranger.
The forest ranger stuff.
Towers.
Yeah.
What-
The
Those-
what is it?
Firewatch touch. Yeah.
Firewatch. Yeah, and
Yeah.
that it's like horrifying too.
I would definitely. I want to go live in
I
a
would not
Firewatch
do that.
tower
Unless
for
I got
a
like
month.
Unless I got like a gun, I'm strapped. I'm saying strapped and I'm walking through the forest like.
There's gonna
You
be
don't need to even walk through the forest. You just literally
No, you
look
have
around
to. If they tell
and
you
look
to,
for a
if
fire.
if they tell you to go like kick people out and stuff, or
I
if they
think
doing
that's a
something.
forest ranger.
That's a forest ranger.
Fire watchers.
You
are
literally just
yeah.
watch and look for smoke.
And I think, and if you're in the area, you have to tell campers to
Oh,
like
okay.
put their fire out.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
But very rarely, I think, do you have to. Well, that's not true.
I
'Cause I
would-
think you do have to do patrols.
I would say Fears of Fathom's underrated, but like Jack plays it, fucking Cub Scouts plays it, so it's kind of big.
Yeah, I don't think a lot of indie games are underrated.
Yeah, like
anymore.
a lot of YouTubers just mainly play indie games.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And they play the weirdest indie games, so I don't think there's any game out there that is like not on someone's radar.
You ever
Yeah.
watch Never mind. It was like a Japanese one, and like it's like a panoramic view type game where you're going through scene, but it's like the side view. And it was like you're in like a school or something. Jacksepticeye played it, and you're trying to get out of this place. I think even Cub Scouts played it. In
shout out to Cub Scouts.
Yeah, yeah. And you're like escaping this monster that's following you in your school. And you're in a school, and then like in the end, you find out who the horrible monster was. It was like her teacher. He was like doing things to her, and then she wakes up in the hospital, and the teacher's there waiting for her or some shit like that. And she tried to off herself, like unalive herself.
I've never seen that.
I don't even remember
That's
that.
so sad.
Yeah, it was crazy though. I don't know. I want to say it's an indie game though, but that was like really. It has like a deep story behind it. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
I think Graveyard Keeper.
Yeah.
Yeah. Cub Scouts, Jackie Boy. Nobody played it.
Yeah, I mean, what's his name would probably play it though. Floydson.
Floydson did play it.
Oh, he did play it. Yeah,
That's the one where we watched the 200 Days. No, shout out to Cub Scouts only.
Okay, yeah, shout out to Cub Scouts only, but Floydson's pretty cool too. He played the vampire game.
Vampire?
What's
Masquerade?
No.
No, the new one, the one that you're in the forest or something.
I have it on Steam.
V
Rising.
V something, yeah.
V Rising. Okay. Anyways, back to the thing. Community connection. That's what this area is going to be. What do you think draws gamers to indie games versus big budget titles? Is it the storytelling, gameplay, or something else?
Price.
Yeah. Yeah. I feel I like them. I never played one, but I enjoy watching indie games played more than I do like AAA games because I don't know. They're like made, like we said, like small people. It's a small group, and it's like, yeah, I feel more connected to these people. Like, and they reach out to like big times. I mean, I guess AAA games reach out to people, but they also like they provide the whatever codes to like even small YouTubers, and they're like, hey, can you get this game out? It's kind of cool.
Back to what I said previously, I think...
Stop messing with your mic, I can hear it.
What draws people to indie games is that it's focused on one thing, while like big name games it's like open world usually, so there's just so much information that you have to like memorize and think about, where...
It's like more personal.
Yeah, indie games where it's like...
Very
you
linear.
kind of know the story, and it guides you there.
Very immersive.
Mm-hmm.
Immersive, but yet very linear on one subject matter.
Like we talked about the... What do you say the spider train guy is?
What? Oh, the
spider train.
The spider train.
Oh, Choo Choo Charles.
Yeah, Choo Choo Charles. Yeah. Is that in a game?
I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It was where you're like a thing. Fuck, I can't. Where you're like a thing. No, with the big blue guy, and you're like a Poppy Playtime.
Oh,
is that an indie game? Probably
I believe
not.
so. I think
Or it started out as
rubbing.
Maybe. I'm not sure. The developer might be small, but I don't know about the company that like put it out there.
Yeah.
That could be big.
Okay, true.
But I'm pretty sure it's like indie.
What about you, Gaisha?
I had an answer, but now I can't remember my answer. Can you repeat the question?
Yeah. What do you think draws gamers to indie games versus big budget titles? Is it the storyline, the gameplay, or something else?
Oh, I was going to say story, like an original story.
Yeah.
Instead of kind of like piggybacking off of ads, instead of this big, huge, elaborate story, it's just like, oh, look, somebody maybe sitting in their basement, somebody in their room had spare time, and they thought of this idea, and this turned out to be a great game.
Yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. How has the relationship between indie developers and their fan base evolved compared to traditional AAA game studios?
Indie developers don't let me down.
And they often have like a direct line to like the people that enjoy their stuff. You don't have to go through customers. You can't reach people at Battle.net or Blizzard.
I'll tweet Concerned Abe and he'll tweet back.
Yeah, like you could tweet like I guess or X or whatever they call it.
X, sorry.
I don't know what to call it, but you can they have a direct line to their fans, and where like players have personal stories, like you said, and they use it as Fears of Fathom. Mm-hmm. Yeah. What about you, Mazgarisha?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Same thing.
Awesome. Thank you for tuning in.
You're welcome.
Do you think indie developers are better at listening to and implementing player feedback than larger studios?
I don't think that there is an indie game that's like that I've seen that's not a complete story that gets like updates and DLCs and
No.
I think
What
it's
do you
easier
mean?
to reach indie game developers about concerns for your game compared to big name games.
Yeah,
Because they have like a direct line to them essentially, so they can fix things faster, get patches in faster. And plus they probably send. Well, I'm sure big games do this too, but indie games probably send games to people, and when they find or break the game, it can be fixed quickly versus like big names games do like alpha and beta testing, but sometimes things get missed.
Mm-hmm.
See, I was taking it like a whole different level, right? Like
Yeah.
my mind was like
You said DLC. I was like, what is she
Yeah,
talking
I kinda
about?
was like,
my
huh?
mind was like you kind of like an Apex scenario, right? Where Apex is listening to its players' requests and feedback and then tweaking the game for it. Like
They don't fucking listen to their
I know,
player
but
base.
just listen to what I'm saying. Like that's my mind was like, okay, this developer is reaching out to its players on how to change the game to make it better or kind of customize it for its players. That's where my mind.
No,
was
no,
going.
that's
Like,
exactly what it is. It's just
Yeah, well, how can an indie game do that? I don't feel like
they're more closer. They're more close knit to the fan base.
No, I get that, but I'm just saying, like, what indie game is doing that in a sense to customize its game?
Fears of Fathom, 616 games. They respond to the communities. They implement episodes.
That's what I'm saying. It's an
early access.
episode base, isn't it? Isn't it
also
more than
wanna
one game?
I want to say, I think indie games can fix their games faster because they don't do beta testing.
Right.
So
No.
they
Yours
create
make
it.
complete sense.
Yeah, they create the game, they send it out.
Yeah.
Players play it, and then they fix things
Right.
based off of that. Where
Right.
indie
Yeah,
games
their
do
feedback,
They do
yeah.
all of like the play tests, and
Right.
then things can still get missed when they fully release the game.
Yeah.
Where there's an issue, I
Right.
think, because you're paying $60 for a game that essentially is not complete.
And they're not going to complain about a $6 game where it's like,
Yeah, if it's like a $5 game, I'm like, oh, this is cool for how much it is and what I paid for.
yeah.
Right.
I'm
and
getting what I get.
right, and I get that, and that makes sense to me. But I was saying this is how I thought about it.
Mm-hmm.
You know.
Yeah.
And then Damon was saying like,
Black Label.
whatever.
Yeah, please.
Black Label
I
was
think
saying
your point was good though.
that they do that, but I was like, give me an example. But you're giving me an example of like these.
Okay, Fears of Fathom.
Can you let me finish? The Fears of Fathoms is episode based.
Yes, but
They're not
if you let
one
me,
game that gets tweaked.
please let me listen or let me explain. Okay, since they release episodes like episodically and they have early access formats for it, they can adapt and evolve to players' feedback more easily than a AAA game because it could release,
Right,
the
that's
next
exactly
episode.
what Az was saying.
That's what I said.
You worded it so much more differently. You worded it as if, like, I'm the player and I'm telling you I don't like this about your game, and you're like, okay, we'll take it out and we'll put something different. Where Az is saying they're fixing bugs.
That's exactly what I just said. Okay.
You said it in a longer
Okay.
Yeah,
form.
see,
I think.
Okay. Next question.
But hold on. I do want to say I understand Geisha's point because it's kind of like Dredge where it came out and then people were like, oh, it would be so cool if they because Dave the Diver was really big at the same time as Dredge.
Yeah.
And they were like, oh, it'd be so cool because they're like the same game. And then they made a Dredge, Dave the Diver,
Is Dredge
essentially
the one
like
where they
DLC.
Is Dredge the one where he goes around on the boat and you pick up stuff and there's like you start seeing like Cthulhu and other creatures?
Yeah.
Okay, yeah.
But yeah, so then they released the DLC because they were like, we hear you. And then they had like the DLC of Dave the Diver / Dredge. I thought that was pretty cool.
Okay, whatever. Right. How have platforms like Kickstarter and Early Access changed the way indie games are developed and marketed?
I think we just answered that question.
Kickstarter is amazing. I think Kickstarter is amazing for board games. It's amazing for like games, like digital games. It's like the best platform I think to essentially like get fundraising for a game that people can anticipate.
Yeah, definitely. Like Steam's Early Access, Kickstarter have they've helped developers like 616. I think they never had funding, And I think Kickstarter helped them with backing and stuff to be able to create, what they have now, or to gain a player base.
I
Yeah.
think Kickstarter and this Steam concept thing that you're talking about, I think they're great because it also helps
not just
developers essentially like put themselves out there to make their game look appealing, so they kind of have to put effort into it to make people want to play it. So I think it adds to them wanting to make a good game.
Yeah, and it's not just a game. I know it's just about indie games, but it's not just indie games that Kickstarter helps. They help with like D&D tables.
I know.
The cards, stuff like that.
They just made, I don't know if you guys listen to this podcast, it's called Welcome to Night Vale, but they just made a board game that's on Kickstarter right now, and it looks so fun, and I kind of want to help support it because it sounds so cool.
I know there's one I was looking at that was in I was looking at it on what's that thing where they make stuff? Etsy, is that what it's called? And that they were making like a monitor that's encased in like a thing with like glass on top, and you could like lift it up, put it on your table. It's like a removable D&D thing, but like they have like a monitor and you could change the stuff. But they're based in Seattle or Washington.
Really?
Yeah.
Fascinating.
Yeah. What about you, Geisha? What about you? What did I ask?
What's your opinion about
Kickstarter and early access?
Early access.
What do you think about those?
They're great.
Bab, what do you think about those?
I just said they're great.
Geisha doesn't play a lot of indie games.
Okay.
And every time I answer a question, you're just like, no.
No.
Because you asked the question, and I said, oh, we just kind of explained that because
But we didn't. Sorry.
As just explained how the indie developer and the communication between the players can help develop their game by releasing it in fixing the bugs. And
Yeah, but that's not the same thing as Steam Early Access and Kickstarter.
But what was the second part of your question?
How have platforms like Kickstarter and Early Access changed the way indie games are developed and marketed?
Oh, see, I don't know about. See, just edit this
You don't
part
even
out.
have to think about indie games. It's for like board games.
I don't know what those are.
Oh. You
Like
gotta look into Kickstarter. It's amazing.
I get it, what it is now
Yeah, you gotta-
after listening to
you
you
gotta
guys,
check
but
it
I
out.
don't know what that is.
Sometimes you can find. Oh, there's this game called Apothecary or something like that. And it's literally like you build your own little apothecary shop, but you're like playing as an animal. It's so cute.
I think didn't you play Apothecary, Ben?
Nope.
Didn't know it was like a potion game.
It's
a
called
board
Potion
game.
Crafts.
Oh,
It's
yeah.
not
Potion
Apothecary.
Oh, I think I've seen that, right? Where you have to like go and build a route, the fastest way to get potions or something.
No.
Oh.
It's like I have a little potion shop and people come and want potions and I make potions.
It was cute. There's another game she just started playing too. I forgot what it's called, where you do puzzles. Little to the right.
Oh,
little
yeah.
to the left.
A little to the left.
Little to the
That
left.
one's I really like that one. It's
Yeah.
really good.
I can't do that stuff. She was asking. She wasn't asking me for help, but I would go over there and I'd look and I'm like, okay, and then I'm like, no, I can't. help
Black
her.
Label's like, looks good enough to me. Geisha's like, absolutely not.
Yeah.
It's
Yeah.
off by a millimeter.
Okay. Creativity and innovation. How do you think creativity or creative freedom in indie games development leads to more unique and experimental gameplay?
Geisha, would you like to answer first?
I'm sorry, I wasn't paying attention.
But
It's
why?
okay.
Why
It's
are you not
okay.
paying attention? Why are you mad at me?
Repeat the question,
Just
please.
repeat the question.
Okay. How do you think creative freedom in indie game development leads to more unique and experimental gameplay? Or how do you think creative freedom leads to more better gameplay experiences?
I don't think this pertains just to an indie game. Creative freedom, look at Elden Ring. That creativeness and From Software is huge. And I just think, like I said, it's a small team versus a big team, a big budget versus a small budget, And the great thing about indie games is they do work with a smaller budget with a smaller group of people, but they still push out really great games, which is competing, with the bigger platforms or the bigger developers.
Yeah. I think creativity-wise, a lot of indie games are just like one-offs that people make for like programs that they want to do or for like submissions. So it's literally like a 5-minute game that they make. So their freedom to like put whatever they want in this game is just like, you could do whatever you want. I'm literally just making this game because I need to submit something and I just want to showcase my abilities. So it's not even like, sometimes it's not even a real game. It's just like, this was on my brain at the time, so I made this. Here you go. So I think that's it. And then bigger games, obviously they make games to cater to people.
Yeah.
Right? Like you might like mythology, so I'm going to build a game about mythology so that you will pay me to play this game.
Yeah.
So I think that's the difference for me, at least.
Yeah, I agree with both of you. I don't really have an answer for that one.
As you can tell, I was the one that wanted this topic.
Do you think indie developers are willing to push the boundaries in terms of storytelling mechanics and design compared to AAAs?
I think story-wise,
Like
yes.
more willing, yeah.
Yeah, story-wise, yes. But I think for both it's equal. So like storytelling, like indie developers, people who make games, they will make a game on anything. Again, big game brands will make games on things that they know will trend. I think that's the only difference.
Yeah. What about you, babe?
I'm sorry, I forgot
Do
the
you
question.
think indie game developers are more willing
Oh.
to push boundaries in terms of storytelling mechanics and design?
I trust me, I had an answer and I was saving it, but it just slipped my mind.
Sorry, you can go
It's
first
fine.
every time now.
No. You're absolutely okay. I kind of say, I kind of want to say yes and no. And I feel that an indie developer would push it a little bit more because they're not backed by such a big name, because they don't have a board of directors saying, no, this is unethical. This is not what I want.
Yeah.
People are going to judge. But at the same time, I feel like an indie developer would care because they're trying to not be indie forever.
Yeah, that's a good point.
So-
Yeah,
That's
that is a good point.
It's kind of like...
I do agree that, yeah, since
don't
they're
know.
so small, they're like willing to push the boundaries.
Mhm.
But yeah, at a certain point, you're like, okay, if we're gonna be serious, yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I, mean,
Has
I
there been
agree.
this is not a question I think is on the list, but has there been an indie developer that has become a big name developer? Do you know?
I don't
didn't
know.
really look into this.
What about Animal? What's the one?
Animal Crossing?
Animal Crossing? Is that like?
Animal Crossing started on GameCube.
Oh, it did?
So
Yeah.
it's not.
Oh, so
indie.
it's been big.
Interesting.
Yeah, it was
I need to
big
look into
back in the day.
this.
Yeah, I don't know.
Mm-hmm.
Need to look into
Yeah, I
this.
have no idea.
Further
actually.
research is needed.
Yeah. Okay. Which genres do you think indie games excel in, and why?
Horror.
Yes.
I would say horror, platform games, roguelike games. Those are like their three niche areas.
Yeah, I think it's probably easier to build games on those genres because they're so more appealing than other genres.
Yeah.
There's not much you could do with a fantasy game that's indie developed versus a big name fantasy game because I think fantasy game will win
Okay.
with a big name developer.
Yeah, definitely.
For sure. Okay. Did you have an answer, babe, or you just
She said
agreeing?
horror.
I said horror.
She said horror.
Oh,
And that was great.
MG over there.
That's true.
What is going on? Are you grumpy at me?
No, not at all.
I can see your facial
She's
expressions.
over here making the OG
she's
S sign.
She's writing like hangman. It's
No,
like
she's doing
Damon
the S sign, the symbol.
Yeah.
Smith. I used to always do that. Okay, let's see. I asked that question. Okay, how do smaller teams with limited resources manage to create impactful and immersive gaming experiences?
I think they're shorter, so they have to attract you right away, either with the name or the concept. Because otherwise, you're just playing an 8-bit version of a game.
Yeah, sometimes some of the games are like really goofy. Like Chilla's Arts it's not goofy, but it's like, you know, it's out there. Fears of Fathom is pretty good. 616 games are very goofy. I think 616 games are like where like there's like a toilet head guy and he throws turds at people and kills them.
Oh, yeah, that one.
Is that what it is?
There is a game like that.
Yeah.
There's also, like, The Fridge, the game. It's like The Fridge is Red or something like that. I
Oh
don't know.
yeah,
It was
that was
about a
interesting.
fridge.
I think Cub Scouts played that one.
Yeah.
Shadow Cub
I
Scouts.
think it's very interesting.
Yeah. What about you, honey?
Got any
I don't
input?
know. No, I don't know how they do it, but they do it.
Oh, okay. All right, we'll go to challenges and opportunities. What are the biggest challenges indie developers face in today's gaming market, you think?
Maybe marketing. But I think a lot of indie developers reach out to streamers to get their brand out, their game out. So I don't know. It's hard to say because big game names can publicize on like commercials, ads, where again, indies games are all word of mouth, pretty much.
Yeah.
Yeah, discoverability. Yeah. What about you, Beb?
No, I think Az said it on the head.
Beb, I need you to talk in these.
I don't know indie games.
Yeah.
And that's what I said in the beginning. So sorry, but I don't know anything about the indie community whatsoever.
All
She
right.
has a couple good inputs.
I have a couple good inputs, but I'm kind of pulling at straws because I don't know for sure. But I don't know this topic
Okay.
very
Okay.
well.
Yeah.
Well, with so many indie games out there, how do you think certain ones stand out in a crowd?
I think just like what Az says, they got to push it out through a streamer.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I
probably.
mean, most of the indie games are probably through Jacksepticeye.
Yeah.
That's true. Okay.
Cub Scout.
Yeah.
Cub Scouts, yeah.
I mean, all the indie games I have played have been from streamers or Brian when he said, "Hey, have you played Graveyard Keeper?" And I was like, "No, but it sounds cool."
Did
Yeah,
he
word
bring
of
out?
mouth.
Did he
did.
bring out
He did when-
Sea of Stars too, or did you?
No, I saw Sea of Stars from a Gamer Informer.
Oh,
Yeah,
magazine.
I think a good source to get your information for games, whether they're indie or AAA, is like Polygon, Kotaku, any kind of like game informant website is really good because they usually have articles on any new game that's coming out, whether it's AAA or indie.
Yeah. Okay. Where do you see the future of indie games heading? Do you think they'll continue to grow in popularity?
Yes. I think they'll grow because they are so small. So they come out with games not frequently, but frequent enough to keep you interested. And it kind of like, all right, I love this developer, so I'm going to follow all of the work that they do, right? Because is Bloodborne made by the same people as Elden Ring?
Yep.
Yeah.
See, right? So you really like that. Firm Software, right?
From software.
Firm Software. She loves Firm Software. So she follows games that they make because they appeal to her. So it's like the same with indie games. So
But they don't own the game, right, babe?
They're
Like
made by
PlayStation.
them, right?
PlayStation owns
Sony owns. I know Sony owns Bloodborne, but I don't know if Sony owns all the other games like Dark Souls and Demon Souls and Elden Ring.
That's why they can't like remake it or something, right?
Because Sony owns it.
Stupid Sony.
I heard that they can't remake American McGee Alice because Sony won't give up the rights for the developer to remake the game better.
That's
which is-
kind of like Bloodborne.
Yeah,
you
it's
know?
really unfortunate. Like
what game
money
is that?
hungry. American McGee Alice.
Oh, okay. I know what you're
The
about.
Madness?
Yeah, the Madness
Yeah.
one. Okay.
Yeah, I think it's so annoying. Like that guy, like he put so much work into it. Now he can't even. He literally tells people on the internet, he's like, "Stop reaching out to me because there's nothing I can do about it."
Oh, that sucks.
Never develop a game and sell it to a big company.
Yeah,
Is that
that's probably why.
Oh, that's
indie
what they
games stay
do,
small.
or is
Yeah.
that what they did? Bloodborne did that.
Yep.
Oh,
Sold it to. They sold the rights, so now Sony owns the rights, and now they can't do anything with it.
So
Dang.
stupid.
You know that's why also, Spider-Man can't be used in certain movies because Sony won't give them the rights to it.
Yep.
Yeah, that's why. But didn't they say like Deadpool might be able to do something with Spider-Man now?
Oh, really?
Because Disney or something like that. I can't remember.
Oh, that'd be really fun.
They're talking about like he's trying to get Tom Holland to do something with him.
Look, Deadpool is the dad/mom Spider-Man needs.
Yeah. Okay. Do you think the success of indie games has influenced how AAA games approach game development in any way?
I don't think so.
Yeah, I probably don't. think
Yeah,
so.
I think.
They're so big, they probably just don't even care, to be honest.
I think it's the opposite, actually. Well, not even the opposite. Yeah, I think they're just two separate
Yeah, they're
entities.
two separate things. Yeah.
They don't think about each other.
Yeah, big name games can do what they do because they're good at it, so they keep doing the same kind of thing. Indie game developers do the same kind of thing that they're good at.
They're just step siblings.
Yeah.
And they're just trying to live.
They just live in the same house, but they try and not interact with each other.
Which prediction do you guys have for like the next indie game? Will it be a little RPG, horror, platform? Which one do you think will be the biggest one?
I think a platform game might be big, the next big thing that comes out.
I think horror. Because they always put out horror.
I think it's hard to make a good indie horror game that stands out though, because there's so many.
Yeah, there's so many.
Okay, yeah, just shit on my answers. Probably you guys are probably right.
I'm not saying
You've
it's
been
not true.
shitting on all of my answers, so stop being a baby.
I have not been shitting on.
Okay.
No,
I'm
just
not
one.
Okay.
Just one.
You're just a big baby.
No,
Anyways,
just one
pass the next question.
Oh my god.
I think a good horror game will come out eventually,
Just one question,
but
babe. It was just one question. I had to re-ask the question, and I try to give you my
and
answer.
we're shitting on one of your questions, so it's the same thing.
I'm not even upset about it.
Okay, move on. Ask the next question.
Oh my god. All right, you're lucky you're the talent. All right.
she's the voice.
Okay. Fun rapid fire questions. Okay. Which indie game has the most unique and beautiful art style in your opinion?
Oh, that's a good one.
Sea of Stars.
Oh, I think I can't remember what it's called, but it's called Welcome to Portia's or something. But it is also kind of like a farming simulator, but different. But I think the visuals are much nicer than Stardew because they're like very pastel-y, cool tones. Not cool tones, warm tones. It's just like a very beautiful aesthetic background.
I like the 8-bit of Sea of Stars.
Yeah.
You know what? What is 8-bit compared to 16-bit? I don't know. What is
The
16-bit?
squares are better.
So
Yeah,
what
they're
would
just
it?
bigger
What would a
squares.
16-bit game be? Like Mario, or is that 8-bit still?
I think that's 8-bit
That's
still.
8.
Maybe 16-bit is like Fears of Fathom. Is that 16-bit?
I think that's more. Or is it maybe Sea of Stars 16-bit?
These are questions that we need to ask.
Yeah. I like Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight was really cool for beautiful art style.
Is Hollow Knight an indie game though?
I think so.
I don't think it is. I think it's a bigger company because Hollow Knight was big.
Yeah, but
And it's still big because they're coming out with a second one.
Are they?
Yeah. There's a second Hollow Knight coming out.
no, it already is out, isn't
Or
it?
yeah, it's
Or is it coming out?
It was published by an independent developer.
Oh, there you
Team
go.
Cherry.
there you go.
Okay.
So yeah, I mean I anticipated that it was from a bigger company because
Yeah, the
how big it got.
And the graphics are really nice too. Do you have a favorite indie game soundtrack? I the only soundtrack that I could actually think of in an indie game is Hades. I don't think. Does Stardew Valley have a soundtrack?
Stardew Valley. Spring Season. The Clappa song. Oh, it hits.
Yeah.
It's just like do 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 do.
Okay.
It's so good.
Does Graveyard Keeper have one?
It does.
What does it sound like?
I don't know. I haven't
Oh,
played
you
it in a while.
Oh.
And when I bought it, it came with the original soundtrack. So I have the original soundtrack on my computer. It's just I don't listen to it.
Does Sea of Stars have a soundtrack?
It does. But again, I haven't played it in a while.
Are you one of those people that like to play with sound off or sound on?
It depends.
I'm a sound off guy.
Oh.
Yeah.
Like when I play WoW, I turn everything down except for sound effects. I don't like listening to the music. I listen to my own music.
I get to it when it comes to like RPG games. I gotta turn the music off because I need to focus. If I hear the music, I'm just like,
Yeah.
Yeah.
No, I think for like Apex, definitely sound on because you need it, right? But like Graveyard Keeper, most of the time the sound is off. And I'm like graveyard keeping and looking at Amazon at the same time.
Do you have a audio on, like the music on for Apex, or you turn that off too?
It's off.
so do you sit in silence? Or do you have something else on the
No,
in
she
the
has the
background?
sound. She has the effects.
No, not
on.
for Apex, but for other games.
Oh, she
Yeah,
plays
the
with
sound is
music,
off.
don't you?
Yeah, so silence.
Sometimes.
Is silence off?
Yeah. Because most of the time I'm doing something else. Like sometimes I'll have to watch a video for class and the video will be playing and muted, and then Graveyard Keeper's
Multitasking.
on and muted. But I'm playing Graveyard Keeper when I'm quote unquote watching this video.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
That's funny.
Okay. What's the best indie multiplayer or co-op game that you've played and made it so fun?
Don't starve together.
I think Overcooked. I had fun playing with you.
I know you don't even play it.
But
what
we
are
did
you talking about?
But we had fun when we did play it.
I enjoyed it when you guys played it.
I preferred Overcook over Don't Starve Together just because we were actually trying to be a cohesive team. We were like throwing shit at each other, trying to grab lettuce and cheese, and slicing it up and cooking, becoming a team.
Can we play the mystery game one together sometime?
The mystery game one.
It's like not mystery game. It's the one that you played that we watched.
The ghost hunting game.
What's her name
No,
played? The
not-
chick that played it? Gabby Smulders played it?
Yeah, I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah, you played it, and we were like, "No, it's the list. Look at the list."
Oh, I don't know. I don't know what you're
I
talking
can't
about.
remember what it's called. I think it's like Adventure or something.
I'll
I'll have to look at my Steam.
Yeah, Don't Starve Together was a good one though. You had quirky stories. It was
I just
challenging.
like that it was creepy.
The style is very fun.
And the story of all the characters were kind of creepy.
Well,
Yeah.
This is mainly a question for you then, since you're the indie person.
Okay.
If you had to recommend an indie game to someone who doesn't play indie games, which one would you suggest and why? Would you like to answer this too, babe?
No, Az can definitely take it away.
She has Graveyard Keeper.
Yeah, I love my Graveyard Keeper.
What's the one that we were looking at too? The hotel one? Or Dark Chocolatier, the hotel one?
Haunted Chocolatier. It's not out yet.
Oh.
It's probably not gonna be out for like a year or more.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Oh.
They're still developing it.
Sorry, I was going to say, was Valheim indie? No, right?
I don't know. Never played that game.
Oh.
I would say for the fun casualness of it, Stardew Valley. But for funness, I really liked Killer Frequency, and I think a lot of people should play it because it's like you're in a studio, so there's like 4 places you can go, so you're very like story driven, but also it's just really fun, the style, because like the choices pop up as like a text box next to you and stuff, and then you have to like look at a map, and I think that's really fun. It makes you think, and you have to try and save people. There you go.
Yeah, save people. What's the most challenging or memorable boss battle that you've faced? You don't really face boss. Do you face bosses in indie games?
No, not really. You kind of just run away from like a known bad entity.
I guess. Babe, how come you haven't mentioned Cuphead? Isn't that a indie game?
Oh yeah, I think Cuphead.
Yeah, I think
right?
Cuphead is an indie game. To be honest.
Yeah, those are bosses.
Cuphead was hard,
and that soundtrack was actually kind of good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I forgot about Cuphead. Cuphead, yeah. I have it, but I haven't played it.
I know that one level where you have to like fly and avoid the the shoots from it. That one's that one looks hard.
Have you beat that, babe?
No, I have not.
Yeah, that was a good one. Good.
I like the style of Cuphead, the older
retro.
style.
Well, it's not even like retro. It's more like just an old classic type.
Yeah,
look,
kind of.
Right? Kind of like what's that one?
It gives
game?
like the 50s vibes.
Yeah, like the 50 vibes.
Yeah.
Bioshock.
Oh yeah, Bioshock was cool. I was never good at that game. I played it for a little bit, and I was just like, I'm too scared.
Yo, Bioshock Infinite. That was my favorite one. That's like the one where I literally finished that game in like 2 days. I loved that one.
I didn't play any of the Bioshock games, but I watched the playthrough of them.
I have them all because they were free. I just download them for free. I never played them.
Oh.
Yeah, they're on like $10 deals.
Oh, Escape Simulator. That's the one we need to play.
Oh, yeah, but Geisha gets sick when we try to play that.
You guys can play.
Ugh,
No, it's a team thing.
Yeah, I want to play a game with both of you.
We can just
starve together.
We should do Don't Starve Together.
Yeah. Don't Starve Together or Overcooked.
Overcooked.
Yeah, and we should go do an actual escape room because we haven't done one in so long.
It's true.
Okay, what is the most... Oh, I just asked that question. Here's the last 4 questions. Quick fire, rapid ones. I guess you can answer too, babe. I don't really have any answers for these. Favorite indie platformer? I would say Meatwad just because I've seen people play. Wait, not Meatwad. It's the one where they're like trying to rescue a princess at the top, and if they fall, they die. Or like the new one where they're like chained together. Is it called Chained Together?
Oh, I know. Yeah, I think it.
With Markiplier
yeah.
and they all played it.
That one's pretty funny. I like the. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. I don't really know any platform. I mostly watch the horror ones and play the horror ones.
Yeah, I don't really know either. Do you know any, babe? Okay.
Besides the one where you're in a cauldron.
Oh yeah, what was it called?
Yeah, that one's so weird.
It was like something by something. It was like his name, and he's like trying to climb up a mountain.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That one's
he's in a
weird.
cauldron.
It kind of reminds me of the ones you showed me from Jacksepticeye.
Yeah. Favorite indie puzzle games.
Ooh, puzzle games. Pretty
I
much
don't know any puzzle
I don't
games.
know
hidden
any.
object game. Those are my favorite puzzle
Maybe
games.
The Witness. I guess that's a puzzle. Indie game. I don't know. Favorite story-driven indie game.
I feel like they're all kind of
Pretty
story-driven.
story-driven. Yeah. What's your
that
favorite
one's
though?
not even story driven. It's kind of like you just have a goal. Story.
I think I would say
Story.
say Hades, but I did like when I watched her play it. Graveyard Keeper.
Oh yeah, Graveyard Keeper has a story.
A really good story. And it's like weird too because you have to do stuff to unlock the next stories, right? You have to like
Hit milestones.
get good wine or something to
Yeah, you
unlock
gotta
a,
like do a bunch of crap.
yeah, so it's kind of cool.
Oh. Interesting.
Yeah, it's a good story.
I need to watch you play that when you play it.
She got
It's a
really
lot.
far, and
It
then she just
yeah,
I don't know if she
looks like
forgets.
so much. I don't know if
It's
I would
because
be able to.
I play it very like hardcore, and then I stop and I forget what I'm supposed to do.
Yeah,
You just play it too much. And you get
yeah,
tired
and
of
I'm
it.
just like I don't remember what I'm doing or where I'm at
So
or
you
what
just
my
start
goals
over.
are. So I just start over again, and I keep doing it over and over, and I just keep starting over again.
You just gotta keep a steady pace.
Yeah, like I started over on my PC, and I also have Graveyard Keeper on my Switch downstairs. And my plan, I have it charging. My plan was to start over on that Graveyard Keeper
can
down
you
there.
carry him over or no?
No,
Oh.
All right, your favorite roguelike indie game.
What's the? I gotta think about the name. What's yours?
Wait, I forgot what it's called, but it's like a lot of neon stuff. But I do like Dead Cells. Dead Cells were pretty cool.
I don't. It's like Hollow Knight. There's a knight. I think I can't remember what the name of it is. I like that one, but you gotta fight.
You have a favorite
I gotta think about it.
roguelike game, babe?
nope. I'm not a big fan of roguelike games.
Okay. Why do you think this is the last question? Okay. Why do you think indie games have come or become such a part or important part of the gaming industry?
Because anybody can do it now.
I
You
think
just have to have an idea.
Yes, that's a good point. Anybody, like even your own babies, he's making a game.
Yep, he's making games.
It gives kids like a really good head start into software development.
Yeah. It kind of helps out the little man get in the big industry. It's like a breath of fresh air.
He doesn't want to do it, and he wants to keep it as a hobby.
Oh, see, even better though, because that's a really good hobby to have, because it gives you computer skills, which you can use in the future.
Yeah, I mean, that was it for this. I'll let Geisha decide the next topic.
Oh, I don't care about the topic. I said at the beginning of this episode, hey, I'm not really versed in this topic.
I prefer when we're all
Yeah, I like
versed,
it
though.
when you have.
Yeah, when
I don't know anything.
I don't
about
like
this
when you get
topic.
mad at me.
Because your inputs are really funny, and I can kind of bounce off of them.
Yeah.
Well, thank you for listening. This has been Co-op Chronicles with Pint Size Geisha, Black Label, and me, Azalee.
Bye.
We gather round the mic, tales of nights and dice, gaming when worlds collide, hobbies come alive. Presently engaged to chat, Black Label's where it's at. Movies and stories told, secrets to unfold. Co-op Chronicles, come and join the ride in a world where fun resides. Co-op Chronicles, hear the stories, feel the vibes. Lo-fi beats, they flow as we share what we know. D&D and gaming talk, every journey we embark. Laughs and fun, now that's the plan in our little podcast clan. Women leading through the air, join us if you dare. Co-op Chronicles, come and join the ride in a world where fun resides. Co-op Chronicles, hear the stories, feel the vibes.